welcome to this section. I will be talking about DNS enumeration. So what is DNS enumeration? So let's start with the word DNS. What is DNS? DNS means domain name server or domain name service. We tried that a couple of courses previously. I would recommend you go back to check on my courses, my previous courses. I made a course on DNS, what it's all about, what it's used for, and how it works, the technology behind the domain name server. And I don't think I'm going to repeat that in this particular course. So we'll just go ahead to define what DNS enumeration means. So DNS enumeration is a process of locating all the servers and their corresponding records for an organization. So DNS enumeration will yield usernames, computer names, and IP addresses of potential target systems. So a whole lot of resources is going to be reviewed by the time we decide to enumerate the DNS server of a particular company. So the tool or the two tools that we'll be using would be the DNS enum and the DNS map. So with that being said, let's dive in. So DNS enum, if it's installed on your Kali Linux, I guess it's gonna output its manual to you. So with that being done, let's just go ahead and enumerate our company. That's gonna be our target host. This clipboard. And point of correction, you can't go about enumerating companies that you find online because it's quite illegal, and you need to have permission for you to do that. This particular company I'm actually attacking has been made publicly available by the Dutch government for testing purposes, because if you actually try to scan a company, their IDS, their intrusion detection system is going to log your location and the rest of your valuable resources, and they can get you arrested. So with that being said, let's just dive in this. So it's very fundamental for you to know more than one tool for you to perform a particular task, because there are some websites, there are some web servers that a particular tool cannot go through due to its complexity and the makeup of the tool, like the DNS enumeration. It was able to get our name servers. As you can see, there are different name servers and the IP address that is been hosted on. If you go through my previous course, you actually know what a name server actually is and what the DNS is actually what DNS service actually is. It actually resolves the domain names to an actual IP address in which the web browser can actually fetch the web page from. As you can see, there are different web servers here and different IP address. This is a very vital information to a pen tester or a threat actor that can actually allows him and affords him an opportunity to actually advance its craft on that particular company. As you can see, the tool is trying to initiate a zone transfer, and it's being refused by the web server, and a whole lot of errors arise from we using the DNS enumeration. So at least it gave us some vital and important resources. We can go ahead and save this, and so let's use the second tool in our tool set, which is the DNS map. So it normally takes some time. as you can see, it started to fish out some valuable information here. As you can see, a subdomain is being detected here that is being hosted on an IP Internet Protocol version 6. We will discuss what IPv6 is all about, its definition, and what it's used for. In my previous course, you can go back and check on it. And it's also enumerates its IPv4, which is your conventional IP address. So this particular subdomain is being located at this particular IP address, and you can see under subdomain that is being enumerated. So we can go ahead and check this on our conventional browser. Let's go ahead and just copy this, copy selection, and let's go to our web browser. And okay, I've already entered it before, as you can see. Okay, it's reloading. We can get another one. See, it's a whole web interface on its own, in contrast to the normal one, which is the cbs.nl. In case the cbs.nl doesn't have any vulnerability we can exploit, we can actually resort to this account.cbs.nl. It could actually give us some vulnerability to exploit, and through my experience in penetration testing, I found out that most subdomains normally carries vulnerabilities, because not much emphasis are being made on the subdomains, because it's a sub. Most of the subdomains that are being added to the whole website structure is just to hang a little bit of page, or just to act as a redirection panel or some sort of that, and the programmer doesn't take time to check if there are vulnerabilities. But most companies that really pay their developers, and they hire good penetration testers, they could be able to curb this vulnerability on subdomains. As you can see, we've arrived at the main page. This is the main page, and it's totally different from the subdomains, because there are some subdomains that are being incorporated into the internal structure of the whole web server that are not intended for public view, just for admin purposes. But during DNS enumeration, we get to as you can see, this actually poses a potential security issue. So we can go further to know what it's all about. Can view certificate. Okay, since this particular subdomain is okay, we can go to downloads. A whole lot of subdomains is being brought out by our DNS enumeration tool. So let's copy selection. So most of these subdomains are not intended for public view. Most of them contains websites that are not fully developed. Maybe they are still on the development stage, and the developer just decides to try it out on a particular subdomain before he finally migrates it to the proper main domain. And since we use an enumeration tool, most of this domain pops up, and if we could find a vulnerability in it, it can finally serve as a main gateway to the main control domain server. So that's why it's very necessary and important to run a DNS enumeration on any company web server that you'll be given for penetration testing purposes. And mind you, you must have a written permission from that company in order for you to pen test their web server. If not, you'll be definitely committing a crime, a very, very serious crime. So with that being said, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for this to actually load. So most of these subdomains, they are IP sensitive. So once you see that access is forbidden, you can go ahead to change your IP and load again. You just try out different techniques in order for you to display the page that you intended to check upon. So as you can see, this is as the name implies, is their login page or some sort. So as its structure is being structured, by mere looking at it, I would be able to deduce that you can find one or two vulnerabilities that can be easily exploited from this. So we are not going into vulnerability assessment now. We're trying to gather information. We are in DNS enumeration. So maybe on our next course we'll be talking and be delving into vulnerability assessment and exploitation. So just let this to go through, and I'll be having a whole lot of vital information in your hand and your grasp for you to further your craft, for you to further advance into getting into the internal secure structure of this particular web application, and all this could be documented as part of your reports. So that is it for this particular course. So if you're not in a haste, you could let this to load through all to the end, and I bet you're going to find a whole bunch of vital resource. So that is it for today, and I'll be seeing you in my next course. Thank you for staying tuned. Bye.